Hi guys, welcome back to Hair Dry Treatment with me. So it feels like it's been ages since I've been live. My apologies. As you all know, I've started a new job, so my videos, I am still doing a weekly show, but obviously not as many as I have been doing. I promise the content will increase the more I get used to my new job, but I hope you're all doing fantastically well. But yeah, I thought I normally do obviously the Sophie's roundup, but because it's not been any league football, it's been the boring international break. I thought I'd do a Richard's Ramble today because I think there's a few topics that we can talk about. Obviously, I like to interact with you guys in the chat as well and have a chat about what's going on in the footballing world. I will also give my predictions, like I normally do at the end of a Sophie's Roundup video, for the Premier League games at the end of this video as well. So I hope you're all doing fantastic. Well, the first topic that I wanted to talk about today was Harry Kane. Now, obviously, Harry Kane scoring goals for fun internationally. We all know that he is the most likely person to break Wayne Rooney's record, and a lot of people think he's going to break it far sooner than first anticipated. So Harry Kane obviously scoring goals for fun. England are playing against Kosovo tonight. I do not know anything about Kosovo, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know if they're any good. I know nothing about them. But I do know that I am ready for the international break to finish and get back to the league football. Yes, I am a United fan, so it's brave of me to say that. But I'm just sick and tired of international football right now. Feel free, as usual, guys, to get involved in the chat and let me know what you think as well. I want to get you guys involved. Hi Diz, hope you're good. Hi Naeem, hope you're very well as well. So yeah, Harry Kane, do you guys think he's going to break the record? I think it's a matter of when. When is he going to break Wayne Rooney's record? Is it going to be very, very soon? Or do you think he's going to have a slump at some point? And he won't break Wayne Rooney's record? For me, I think it's the inevitable. He's definitely going to do it. I personally think Harry Kane is a fantastic striker. I know he gets a lot of stick, but I think he's a fantastic striker. I would have loved him at United. He was also linked with us back in the day. I think for Spurs, he's a quality player. But one thing I will say, when he does play for Spurs, I think it's a bit different. I think when he's in the team, they rely on him quite heavily. And so when he's misfiring or when he wasn't there, I don't know, Spurs had to find an alternative way of playing. So Son obviously would get more involved. Lucas as well stepped up the plate. So I think when he plays for Spurs, obviously he is the key guy, and they very much turn to him. Whereas for England, he is definitely our most prolific scorer as well. If you look at likes of Rashford, we've already said week in week out Rashford cannot quit it as a centre forward. Harry Kane is definitely the number one, but of course you've got the likes of Vardy as well, who can also finish. But Harry Kane is definitely one of, if not the best finisher I have seen in an England shirt. And I'm putting Rooney definitely in that bracket as well. I think Harry Kane, he's got such a clean stroke on him. I think he always seems like he's going to score. Whenever he's in on goal, he feels so confident, and taking penalties as well, as we all have witnessed. He doesn't miss. He doesn't miss, and he aims for top bins, and most time he hits it as well. So yeah, I'm a big Harry Kane fan, definitely. Hello Marcus in the chat. Obviously, he's my key mod. I hope you're doing very well. I haven't spoken to you for a while, and I hope you're doing really good. So yeah, league football is obviously back, and we're going to be talking about Manchester United. Sancho is one player that definitely I would love to see at United, and obviously we've mentioned his name many times before. Recently, I've saw all over Twitter United fans getting so excited because apparently Sancho is retweeting Manchester United fans' tweets and liking Manchester United fans' tweets. And Sancho is obviously a player that United fans do want at Old Trafford. But United fans are treating this on Twitter like it's basically confirmed. They're treating it like Sancho has already had his picture holding up the United shirt. I definitely do not see it that way. I think him coming to United will very much depend on Champions League football. And let me know in the chat, do you think he will end up coming to United? Do you think are you like me and think it's going to be down to obviously Champions League and whether we get that or not, or can you see him playing somewhere else, or will he stay at Dortmund? He's obviously signed a new deal there as well. But the Sancho situation, I think, is going to be a very interesting one because last season, obviously, he had a very good season. This season, he started fantastically well, and I'll be interested to see what happens with him next year because I said I'll give him this extra year to see if he maintains that or was it just a one-hit wonder. And it definitely seems to be proving me wrong at the minute. He seems to be getting better and better, and I believe he is starting for England tonight as well, so you get another look at Jadon Sancho. Matt says, I'd love to see Sancho at United, but he'd probably cost upwards from 100 million. Yep, he's English, which makes his price rise even more. And obviously, when selling to United, we all know what happens in terms of prices. Paul says, hi, Soph, how are you? Well done for scoring for Kidderminster ladies the other day. Thank you very much, Paul, and I'm very well, thank you, and I hope you're good as well. Let's have a look. Hi, Sophie. Hope you're good. Can you give my mate Tony from Wolverhampton a hi as well? Thanks. Hi to Tony. Hope you're both doing well. Sancho retweets everyone mentioning him though, so yeah, I agree with that comment. I think people are getting overexcited about these retweets that Sancho has done. I definitely am not linking him to United just yet. Of course, I would love him at United, as I'm sure you guys would, but I don't think these retweets are anything to read into or go by. I'm hopeful, but Champions League football is a must if you want that sort of player, says Lewis. Yep, I agree. Dear Saints, how much are we paying for Sancho? Is it going to be 85 million plus? I would say 85 million plus. I completely agree. I think he'll be overpriced. He's English, which obviously makes him more valuable to us. And also, I think the fact that people know United are desperate and they'll up the prices just because they know they can. Look at Harry Maguire and what we just paid for him. But we needed Harry Maguire, so we had to pay that price. That's just the way it is. So I did say this in your previous video that Man United have to sign 1 or 2 players next January because next summer will be very short and Ed will be busy with a Pogba sale. Look, we all know we need to strengthen, definitely. Hi to Paul, who's just come in the chat as well. I hope you're good, Paul. We all know that we need to strengthen. January, I haven't got that much confidence that we're going to do a lot of business. Of course, I hope we do because I think we need to. But it's going to take time, and I just hope that Ollie gets that time to work with the squad. I mean, if you look at the Player of the Month nominations for United, obviously Daniel James won, but the 3 nominations were Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, Dan James, 3 signings that Ollie made. Is that a coincidence? I don't know if it is. I think he needs time. We need to be patient as fans, and it's hard to be. Like, I hold my hands up and I say I get frustrated, definitely week in, week out. But it's just But at the end of the day, we've constantly changed managers. I think it's obvious that the changes need to be made higher up than the manager. Obviously, there's rumours of Van der Sar coming in as a director of football as well. But I do think keep changing managers isn't healthy. I'm not saying that I think Ollie is the guy long term, because he's still not proven as a manager. However, I think we need to just back our manager and give him some time, because I think we're moving too fast between managers when it's obvious the problems lie a lot deeper. However, I also recognise that Ollie's form is shocking. If you look at the form, the stats, it's relegation form, and it's sad. It is sad, the situation that we're finding ourselves in, as United fans. It really is. And Paul's made a good point. He said he'd take Maddison from Leicester. I would love to see Maddison at United. I think he's a quality player. He would definitely be the creative kind of midfielder that we should be looking at, in my opinion. Bruno Fernandes was the one that was battered around. Obviously, it seems like that ship has sailed now. So I would definitely be looking at Maddison. I think he would come to United as well. I genuinely do. Blockleaf say the Saudis need to buy Man U. I don't care about the bad press. We need new money and somebody to splash it around, and we need to keep Ollie the whole season. So yeah, there's a lot of people when there were rumours about obviously this Saudi takeover. It was kind of like a balanced argument. There were some people saying they want to keep the heritage and the history of United, of course, and there were some people saying that, well, we're falling behind, we're already way behind, this is the way football is going, we need to invest and we need owners like that who are going to put money into the club like obviously City did. Let me know in the chat if there was an offer on the table of a Saudi takeover at United, would you say yes or no, and why? Because I'd be intrigued to see, just in my chat, just to see what you guys think, because I know it was very split when there were talks about it before. Michael says, I believe in Ollie, but Woodward is the problem. I think I'm a bit like you, definitely in the Glazers, of course. Mr. E's in the chat. Hope you're very well. He says hello to Marcus as well. If I was a United fan, so you would say Solskjaer out, and Roberto was a Juventus fan, so Juventus fan is saying Solskjaer out, Ollie out. I do recognise his form is shocking. Of course I do, but I think at the same time, these players have failed many managers before Ollie as well. It seems to me like we get comfortable under the manager and form dips, effort dips. And it shouldn't. If you look at the squad that we have got, yes, we're quite weak in places, of course. We're not as strong as we should be for a Manchester United squad. But for example, if you look at the players on the team sheet against Palace and look at the result that we got, that should not happen. That should not happen. No way should we look at their midfield and our midfield, or their defenders, for example, and think, you know what, they're better than us across the board. They're not. However, they obviously did. They did dominate. Well, we obviously had a lot of the ball, of course we did. But what I'm going to say is I think they muscled us in the middle, and they obviously got us on the counter-attack, which, to be fair, we were going for the win. I completely get that. But when you look at it on paper, that should not happen. It should have been a mauling for United, and it simply wasn't, and that's not good enough. That's where you have to question, obviously, the players. But some of the changes Ollie has made, I do completely agree, have been very questionable as well, which is why it's such a tough one to go with. your heart is obviously saying keep Ollie back in. Your head is saying, hang on, the results aren't good enough. It's made stupid changes at times. Jesse Lingard seems to be showing a lot of faith in him when he's doing nothing. And I completely get it. It makes you want to pull your hair out. It is a really complex situation. Mr. Arsenal Podcast says, hey, Soph, how are you doing? Did you see my tweet to you the other day about inviting you on my channel for my Arsenal versus United preview? I didn't, I'm afraid. I didn't see that. I'll definitely have a look through. I've been fairly quiet on Twitter because I've been working. I don't even get a chance to look at my phone all day, really, with this new job. But, yeah, definitely keep me posted about that. I'll be interested in doing a preview with you for the Arsenal game. Sounds good. We need to sort the right side out too. Many left-sided players. Spider-Man needs Sancho in front of him, but would have taken Chico back for poaching the goals. Yeah, right side is an interesting one. I'm sick of us playing players who aren't wide players out wide. For example, Mata is the example I always give when he's being forced out wide. Greenwood obviously has been out on the right when he's come on as well. Greenwood for me should be centrally. But yeah, it's an interesting point. Paul says if Pogba is injured on Saturday, who is our best midfielder? That's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. Leicester, to be fair, Leicester are a strong team. I said this in my last video. As a United fan, you used to say there was a handful of games where you'd say they are the tough games, and it used to be like Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, City, Spurs. So, for example, now every single week is a hard game when I'm looking at the fixtures as a United fan. There's not one game that I look at and I think this is going to be a rollover, this is going to be easy, because we just make it hard for ourselves. I mean, the likes of Burnley where you think, oh, this should be an easy win. Previous years, you would have thought that. No, I'm not. I'm thinking they're going to sit in against us and we won't be able to break them down. So, Leicester, I think you're going to have McTominay is going to be in there against Leicester. Then, will he play Matic? Will he play Matic and McTominay? It's an interesting one. Without Pogba there, how poor does our midfield look? And it's just worrying, isn't it, really, when you look at it that way. Personally, I would like to see Gomez given a chance. Don't think it's going to happen though, but I would love to see Gomez at least get into the squad, the matchday squad as well. So yeah, I think he'll go Lingard in there. But I don't know. I'm trying to think. McTominay, Matic, will he go defensive like that? Will he stick to obviously the three in the middle that we have been doing? You know what, Paul, you've thrown a right spanner in the works. I'm just praying that Pogba isn't injured, and I know I'm one of the first ones to get on his back, but we need his creativity in the middle. Without it there, you're looking at the likes of Matic and McTominay, and I love McTominay, but he's not the answer to our creative problems. Garner is another player that I would be looking to push up into the first team because he's been absolutely bossing it as well. Obviously, he's been scoring goals for fun. He looks dominant in midfield whenever I've seen him play, and I think he's another one that I would be looking at if I was Ollie, and maybe he could be given a shot. I don't think it's going to happen. This is me thinking positively and wanting to see more youth given a chance because of the nature of our squad. I think we'll definitely see McTominay and Matic playing, which is a bit depressing really when you think about it. So I'm hoping that Pogba isn't injured. Ollie needs to go. He's got a 19% win percentage. That is shocking when you look at it, isn't it? Absolutely shocking. Matthew says, got to start Tuanzebe over Lindelof for me. Victor is a bit rubbish. Looks so scared on the ball for a supposed ball-playing central defender. Can't trust this boy. I think Lindelof, I would say when he's got the ball at his feet, he's been alright, to be fair. Of late, I think he's had a confidence dip. But what's always worried me about Lindelof is in the air. I think he's quite vulnerable when the ball is in the air. He's not strong enough. And I said this weeks before the season even started. I said, for me, he's not good enough in the air. He's a bit vulnerable. He reads the game well. He's obviously fairly quick, which gets him out of trouble a lot of time. But I think when the ball is in the air, he definitely is a bit vulnerable. However, I think dropping him is just going to ruin his confidence even more. He's had the international break. I think did he score on the international break as well, or did I imagine this? But he played over the international break. I think he should still have his place. I think if you drop him, that's going to ruin his confidence even more. So maybe stick him in there, obviously with Maguire as well. Tuanzebe, I do definitely like. Pre-season, I watched him and I think he is strong. He's an absolute giant when you watch him in real life as well. He's a giant. He's rapid, he's strong, and he's strong in the air. He's just a bit inexperienced, of course, but he's only going to gain experience and obviously get better through playing games. So if Ollie did replace Lindelof with Tuanzebe, I would be all for it. However, I can't see it happening. I don't think he'll want to ruin Lindelof's confidence like that. And I fully expect Victor Lindelof to play. I just saw someone comment there saying, what about Fred? Fred is an interesting one. I want to see more of Fred this season. I think when he played against PSG away last season in the Champions League, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. And that was the Fred that we want to see in a United shirt. he hasn't been given many chances. When he has played, I think he's been a bit erratic. I think he gives the ball away a lot in the middle, which is very risky. When you're definitely playing in the Premier League, it's very risky because we know how fast teams counter attack and break on you. And that is why I don't know if he's suited really to the Premier League. But like I say, against PSG away last season, I thought he was fantastic. Credit where it's due. And I went to obviously watch the Wolves game at Old Trafford last year when Fred scored his first goal for the club. And I thought he was our best player in that. I think he played about 60 minutes in that game. It's the first sub that Jose made. And I remember questioning and shaking my head thinking, why is he taking Fred off? Because he looked like our brightest player. Those two occasions, Fred has shown glimpses of the Fred that we all thought we were signing. But other than that, you've got to say he hasn't really impressed when he's been given a chance. And I think he's a big risk to start against Leicester because of the amount of times he gives the ball away. And he's playing against a good midfield there. Bear that in mind as well. Let's see what some of you guys are saying. Jockey says about Lindelof, good feet and positioning, but in the area he's poor. I completely agree with that. Matthew says, ideally, I'd like to see De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Tuanzebe, Shaw, McTominay, Fred, Pogba, Greenwood, Gomez, Martial. I would like to see that lineup as well. Very young lineup and showing a lot of faith in the youth. But again, I think we're dreaming a bit there. I don't think it's going to happen. I would fully expect to see Matic maybe putting in there. Rashford will probably start in that game. Lindelof, I think he'll start, and Lingard as well. I know he's injured international break. Is he going to be back for this game? If he is, no doubt he'll be in the squad as well. But we can dream, I guess. We can dream. Ollie is a better player than our whole team bunch of dancers, says Gaz. He's definitely probably a better finisher than we've got. I'd agree with that. Blockcliff says it's the players. They're not hungry enough. They're not hungry under the last three managers either. The players' attitude is the problem, not Ollie. Like I say, tactically you have to question Ollie sometimes. I completely get that. But I also think that there's a mentality issue or something amongst our team where once they get settled under a manager, that's really weird. Once they get settled under a manager, then I don't know if it's a psychological thing, but they seem to just settle on the pitch and they seem to, I don't know, the effort seems to drop, the enthusiasm seems to drop, decision making becomes a blur, and I don't know if that's, maybe it's just the way I'm seeing it, maybe it's just like a weird way I'm looking at it, but I just think that when players get comfortable under a manager, they completely change, and our squad seems to do that all the time, and I think it is a mentality thing. I genuinely do think, but of course I do also agree that the problems run a lot deeper than the manager as well. But Ollie has to take stick for what he's done wrong. Of course, he has to take stick for some of the changes that he has made that have been questionable. Matthew says we've got so many players who are bang average, but we give a free pass because they fight for the badge. Lingard, Fred, Lindelof, Rashford, to name a few. Yeah, I think I completely get that. I think there's a lot of players who get away with it. Like I always get told I let Lingard and Rashford off the hook, but I genuinely don't. And I slated Lingard in one of my streams recently, saying that he's a number 10. He's meant to be our most creative player in that position, and he's got like no assists and no goals in like 10 years or something stupid. That was an exaggeration, I know, but yeah, I completely agree. I think that a few players are let off the hook and given that free pass. At the same time, I think there's players who are defended in our team as well who simply do not put enough effort in. It's not a good balance to have, really. Yes, I love Dan James, and I do say he understands what it means to play for Manchester United, but at least he's backing it up as well by banging goals in top bins week in, week out at the minute, and I think that's the difference. At least he's performing on the pitch as well as trying hard, which we all know Dan James will do. I think he's doing the business at the minute, and that's the way that it needs to be. But that doesn't happen with a lot of people. Rashford isn't a striker, nor is he his winger. He's just a forward, and the longer it stays that way, the more his career will stagnate. Yeah, I remember doing a show with Mark Goldbridge on the United stand very early on when I just got on the United stand, really, and I was asked about Marcus Rashford when he was just kind of getting big time, and they were saying, like, what do you think his positioning is? And I remember saying he needs to nail down a position, because for me, he doesn't look like a striker. It doesn't look like a winger. And I'm intrigued to see where he ends up, because he hasn't now. I wish I could find that stream. If someone's good at all this editing stuff and finding out streams from the past, I literally said he needs to nail down a position. If he doesn't, he'll come unstuck, because for me, it's a bit like, I remember when I was 16 playing football. I was playing for Wolverhampton Wanderers. I came up into the first team, and I remember thinking, in my head, I always thought I was a centre forward, and then the manager kept playing me in number 10. And then I'd have a little bit of a spell out on the left, and the manager couldn't decide where to play me, because he didn't know what position suited me best. And And that's what I get that's the impression I get with Rashford. I think he's a good player. Technically, obviously, he does produce moments of magic. You can't take that away from him. He shouldn't take free kicks, but he does. And England mugged us all off by putting a tweet up the other day showing a clip of Rashford scoring 2 free kicks in a row just to rub salt into the wounds. But he needs to nail down a position. He needs to be 100% in one position, a position what stands out. And because he isn't, that worries me, because he's not going to be consistent, is he? If he hasn't got a position, he's not going to be consistent. And that's down to Rashford. He needs to nail down a position. He's definitely not a consistent goal scorer. I think we all know that now as a United fan. He's not a consistent goal scorer. I do think he makes stuff happen, but when it's not, it doesn't happen in between game. He's either absolutely fantastic or he's absolutely awful. There's no in between with Rashford, and I think Pogba's a bit like that as well. I think he's either fantastic or he's absolutely awful. There's no in between ground there. So yeah, I'd agree with Matthew there, saying he needs to nail down a position. He's not a striker. He's not a winger. And that definitely does hold him back a bit, and that is why he does get a lot of stick as well, because we don't know what we want. We don't know if we want him as a goal scorer or a creator. What does he actually do for this United team? Director of football's fake news or imminent. We need a consistent football model moving forward. Director of football can implement that, but what Ed wants, power. Will director of football be a placebo? Yeah, very good point by Paul. I think whenever it's the international break, these rumours of director of football or Sancho all of a sudden being linked back to United, I think he just sells papers, if I'm completely honest. I think it's slow news week because it's international break, and I just think like it's an easy story for papers to sell. I think that's all it is. I genuinely don't look into it too much, because I think England are playing, there's not much exciting to talk about. Let's talk about Manchester United, because a lot of people are buying papers, a lot of people be interested in these tweets, a lot of people are taking notice because they'll believe that it's going to happen. And that's the way I see it in international break. I just think it's fake news, as Paul's just said. We do need a director of football, but like you've just said there, will Ed want to let some of the power go? Ed obviously isn't doing a good enough job. He simply isn't. That's the way you look at it. But are the Glazers going to make a move and employ someone else to help him out, or are we just going to keep sticking to this? Because this model of football isn't suiting us. Our recruitment is absolutely shocking when you look at it. And I'm just hoping that Ollie gets back, because like I say, his 3 signings that he's made so far, all up for player of the month this month, all had a fantastic first month at United, and I just want us to continue that way. I don't think it's a coincidence that Ollie's 3 signings are up for player of the month. I think he deserves credit for that, but he doesn't deserve credit for some of the other changes he's made. But look at the squad he's got to work with. It's just like a spiral. There's so many questions that are unanswered that we kind of solve one problem and another one arises. It's horrible. Thank you so much, Alex, for the super chat. He says, hi, Soph, what is your prediction for tonight's game? I literally know absolutely nothing about Kosovo, if I'm being completely honest. I have no idea. I don't think I know any of their players. So no disrespect to them, but I'm going to have to say I'm going to predict an England win. I'm going to go with a 3-0 England win tonight. Let me know, drop in your predictions as well, guys. What do you think the score is going to be tonight? I'm going to say 3-0 to England, and I know literally nothing at all about Kosovo, so that's a bit of a blind guess, I suppose. Let's see what some of you guys are saying. Bastian says, I like Sancho, but what reason does he have to come here? We are worse than Dortmund. Exactly. I said, I think Champions League will be a big reason. I think if we get Champions League, then maybe that might open his eyes a little bit. And maybe if we have a fantastic end to the season and make some good transfers in January, he might think it'll be an attractive place to come to Old Trafford with Ollie in charge, because we'll be playing exciting, friendly football. But then you have to look at it. If I was Sancho, I wouldn't come to United right now. I wouldn't want to be United in this current state of affairs that we're in. I would not want to come to United. I would rather stay at Dortmund, as you've just mentioned there. I think it's an intriguing one with Sancho. I said this season would be a big season for him. He started it fantastically well. If he continues to have a fantastic season, I think some of the big boys will be in for him. I don't think we'll stand a chance. I think it's wishful thinking, because he's English, that we think we might be in it with a chance. We need to get Champions League if we stand any chance of getting him. In my opinion. Alex says, I think 3-0 too. Matthew says 6-1 the mighty Kosovo, easy win. 5-0 to England, says Paul. 4-1 to Kosovo, says Mr. E. 4-0 England, Jockey. 5-1 Kosovo. There's a lot of people voting against England here. Come on, guys. I'm hoping it's sarcasm. You coming to any United women game this season? So says Matt. Yeah, I will. As many as I can. As you all know, I play on a Sunday as well. and I kick off at 2 o'clock on a Sunday. So a lot of time it clashes with the women's game, which is why I struggle. But if I'm not playing on a Sunday, I will definitely come and watch a United women's game. I did watch obviously the game against City the other day, which was fantastic. I must say, I think it was a great advert for the women's game. I thought United didn't look outclassed. I think if we could finish some of the chances we had, I think we had more than enough decent chances, and maybe we could have had a penalty as well. I thought we were unlucky in that game, but definitely a proud performance and a really good advert for the women's game, like I say. So yeah, I'll definitely be coming to some. It's just a matter of if my games clash with the women's games. Marcus is right. Like, share, subscribe, please. 4 different managers, yet the players' performances are the same. Coincidences, Marcus? I think not. I agree with you completely. I think there's a mentality issue there. Like I say, when Ollie first took over, we were fantastic. We were playing fast football. We absolutely battered Cardiff. And I remember us all kind of rubbing our eyes. We couldn't believe what we were seeing. And then a few games in, all of a sudden that drops again. And I think it's because the players get comfortable. I think there's a mentality issue there. And I've always said it. I think the players need to be blamed massively. I do completely agree that it goes above the manager, above the players. There's problems in the background. But at the same time, you've got to look at the game. You got to look at what you see on the pitch in front of you, and there's certain players who aren't cutting it, who aren't doing it, and you can try and defend them all you like. But if you're looking at Crystal Palace, for example, and see that they're beating us, no way should that happen. We're Manchester United, and if you look, yes, you have the odd bad game, but this isn't the odd bad game. This is happening far too consistently, and no way should they be beating us. Not with a team like that, and not with our team. So now we've got to bounce back. Leicester. Obviously, we played against Southampton. That was our last game. It was 1-1. Dan James scored an absolute worldie of a goal. We should have definitely put more chances away. As usual, we let the team stay in the game. We can't break a team down. We end up drawing. Disappointed, and I remember that feeling like an absolute. I felt like we'd been absolutely battered, to be honest. That Southampton game, a really disappointing result. Obviously, Palace before it as well. So it was a negative time for United fans before the international break. You could say it came at a good time. Hopefully, now we're going to bounce back against Leicester. But as Paul mentioned earlier on, I'm hoping Pogba is fit and is returning. Lingard was ill for England. Let's see if he returns for United as well. So I'm going to give you my predictions, guys. Feel free to join in with the chat and give me yours as well. So I'll do it game by game. So the first one, Liverpool against Newcastle. Liverpool win is all I can see in this one, and I'm going to go for a 3-0 Newcastle win. No, I'm joking. 3-0 Liverpool win in that one against Newcastle. I don't think Newcastle will score. I think Liverpool will have the majority of the ball, and like I say, yeah, I think they'll score 3. So 3-0. See what you guys are saying. 3-0 to Liverpool, unfortunately, says Alex. Agrees with me. That's an interesting one. I prefer Maddison over Bruno. I think Maddison now is becoming a fan favourite for United fans. I'm saying silly, but I think United fans are definitely more alerted to Maddison how he started this season. And he's impressing people. He's getting better and better by each game. So it'd be interesting to see how that one turns out. So, first prediction, Liverpool 3, Newcastle 0. Next one, Brighton against Burnley. This is a bit of a hard game to call, to be honest with you. This is a tough one. I can see a draw in this game. I'm going to go 1-1. So I'm going to go for 1-1 Brighton against Burnley. Mr. Arsenal podcast says 4-0 to Liverpool. Diz Dane says I love underdogs tunes for the win. I hope you're right, Diz. I love underdogs too. But I just can't see it happening. Alex says 1-1 for the Brighton Burnley game like me. Hello Zebon Ahmed. Obi-Wan says 2-1 to Burnley. Mr. Arsenal podcast says a boring 0-0. I think that game's got draw written all over it, to be honest with you, and not a lot of goals as well. If anyone does score for Burnley, it'll be Ashley Barnes. United against Leicester. I'll be at Old Trafford for this game. What are you guys predicting for this one? This is a tough game, this one. I'm trying to think. I'm going to go confident. We're at home at Old Trafford. We need to bounce back. I think it'd be a tight game. I'm going to say 2-1 United win. A 2-1 win to United. I think we might get a late win. I think it's going to be a tight one. I think we'll have some luck in it, the game as well. I think Leicester will have chances, but I think we might just about scrape it. So I'm going to say a 2-1 United win. Marcus says 2-0 to Leicester. Tough 2-1 win for United. 2-0 to United. Slabhead getting a goal. I hope Maguire does score. I would love that. 2-1 win for United, but we need to be on our game. 3-1 to Leicester City if the Foxes turn up on their day. Martin says 1-0 to United. Crew Rook says 1-1 draw. I cannot trust Man United now. They are so unpredictable and unreliable. All results are possible. That's how I feel every single week. That is a good summary. We are unpredictable and unreliable. When you just about think that you're going to see out a result, we'll concede a stupid goal, or we'll play against a team who puts everyone behind the ball and we can't break them down. And it always ends up being a frustrating one. But I've got a feeling we might just about scrape it. Maybe I'm just getting a bit excited because league football's back, and then on Saturday I'll return to reality again when I'm sat at Old Trafford. But we shall see. Sheffield United against Southampton. Again, I think it's a bit of a hard one to call. Sheffield United are at home. I think they might just nick it. So I'm going to say a 1-0 Sheffield United win. I haven't really seen much of Sheffield United this season. I know they've had a mixed bags in terms of results. But I wasn't that impressed with Southampton against us. I know obviously they got the point. They defended well. But yeah, I wasn't that impressed. So I'm going to say a 1-0 Sheffield United win. T-Bon says 2-1. Alex says 1-1. Jockey says Sheffield United will win 2. Arsenal podcast says 2-0. And Gaz says, I like Sheffield. Spurs against Palace. I think Spurs are going to win this one. This seems like the kind of result what Spurs will slip up on, but I think Spurs will win. I'm going to say 2-0. 2-0 Spurs win. It's at Spurs as well, so yeah, 2-0 to Spurs is my prediction for that one. Spurs win. 2-1 Sheffield United. Ramble Morrison to get the winner. If Sheffield beat Southampton, we are idiots. 3-1 to Spurs. 2-2 draw. And Spurs 3-0. So majority are saying Spurs are going to win that one. Next one, a big game actually. I was talking to my dad about this. Wolves against Chelsea at Wolves. Chelsea, a bit like us, on a bit of a down patch. Wolves obviously lost to Everton, I believe, in their last game as well, so they'll be looking to bounce back. I think this is a tough one. It is at the Molineux. I think Wolves might just about nick this one, to be honest, so I'm going to say 2-1 Wolves win. I think Chelsea will score. But I think Wolves being at home and knowing the atmosphere they have at the Molineux and now they get it rocking, yeah, I think that they're going to nick it. I think they'll want to bounce back after the disappointing result and performance at Everton. Yeah, and I think Wolves will win. Cods Vlogs is in the video in the chat. I hope you're good. I haven't spoken to you for a while. I hope your videos are going well. A lot of people predicting Wolves wins there. I'm just having a little bit of a look. 2-2 draw. A lot of people predicting both teams to score as well. That might be one to watch, to be fair, that game at Molineux. We all know what happened when we went to Molineux last season, and I do know that they proper get up for it, especially when it's a big team. So I think Chelsea going there, I think it's going to be rocking, and I'm expecting a Wolves win. I genuinely am. But if Wolves don't win, then I can laugh at my dad, so it's a win-win situation there, really. Norwich against Man City. I think this is the evening kick-off on a Saturday, so... Look, Man City are going to win. I think Norwich going forward has looked fantastic. Defensively, I think they go for it a bit too much and they leave themselves exposed. I can only see Man City demolishing them really and scoring bags and bags of goals. So, yeah, I'm going to say a 4-0 Man City win. 6-0 says Gaz. Arturo says 4-1. Naeem says 4-1. So, a few people predicting that Pukki will still score for Norwich. Interesting. Pukki, he has been scoring for fun. It's an interesting one. And Cods Vlog says, doing great, thank you. 40 subs from 4K subscribers now, loving your streams. Thank you so much. And yeah, your streams are fantastic as well, so keep up the good work. And if you haven't, guys, go and subscribe to Cods Vlogs. It's fantastic. Non-league football. Focuses a lot on Fleetwood Town, I believe. But yeah, really good streams. Go and check out his channel. Fantastic. A lot of people are saying City win, predictable really. Gaz says, how is Luna? Luna is doing fantastic, well, thank you. I have to shut her out now because she just barks all the time, bless her. But yeah, she's doing very well, and thank you for just Arturo said nice jacket, thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, Pookie Party, I hope you're right. Rashford Jawara, I hope you are right. Bournemouth against Everton on Sunday. I think this is the first kick-off on Sunday. Like I say, Everton got a good result against Wolves. They battled, they scored 3 goals. Bournemouth, I think they've shown obviously in patches that they can still score goals. I think Harry's a fantastic manager. But I do think Everton are going to nick one. I'm going to say Everton 2-1. I think it'll be close, but Everton I think will nick this. I think it won't be Mike bag for them as well. I think he's going to turn out to be a decent signing, to be honest with you. So 2-1 Everton win, and then Watford against Arsenal. Where's your cojones at? I think Arsenal are going to win this one. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but Watford have had a dreadful start to the season. I think they've looked boring. They're lacking goals. And I can't see anything other than an Arsenal win. So I'm going to say a 2-0 Arsenal win for that one. But I do hope that I'm wrong, and I hope that Watford do come out, pull a result at the bag. Yeah. Then we've got Monday Night Football back. It's going to be Aston Villa against West Ham. Again, a mixed bag for both teams, but I'm hoping Villa are going to nick it. It's at Villa Park. I think it's going to be pretty tight again, but I'm going to say a 2-1 win for Villa. I felt really sorry for Villa with that VAR decision, and I'm hoping that they're going to get a bit of luck in this game and they're going to just nick it. So 2-1 is my opinion. Let me know what you guys think as well. I know West Ham have had a few good results recently as well. But Claret and Blues, both on a Monday night, I'm going for 2-1. And I'm basing that purely on the fact that they're at home, to be honest with you. I'm not overly impressed with Villa. I think they've shown in flashes that look decent. They're really unlucky, obviously, with that VAR decision. I'm just hoping that they get a positive result. England against Kosovo is tonight. I've said a 3-0 England win is my prediction, even though I know absolutely nothing about Kosovo. So I am literally wildly just predicting that one. So yeah, hopefully I'm right, but we shall see. Let's see what some of you guys are saying in here. Neil, Sophie did win at the weekend. Yes, we did win at the weekend. We won 7-0, and I scored an absolute screamer, which I was quite happy with, to be fair. So yeah, should be an interesting season for my team, Kidding Mr. Harry's ladies this season. We're looking at getting promotion. We should be getting promotion, so it should be an interesting one. Gas says I should do watch-alongs. I've never really thought about it, but it's a good suggestion. I can definitely look into that. I'll struggle this weekend because I will be at Old Trafford watching the game, but yeah, it's a good shout, definitely. Come on, Kosovo. Come on, win 2-1, says Ilya. Muric, the keeper from City, plays for them for Kosovo. I did not know that. I didn't know that. That's one player that I do know then, because I said I didn't know any. So yeah, that's helped me out a bit. Alex says, do a watch along tonight. I can't do a watch along tonight, I'm afraid. I've got so much work to do. But I was just dying to get live and talk to you guys because it seems like forever since I've done that. So at least I've managed to interact with a few of you guys. But in future, definitely, I will look at doing a watch along. It's a good suggestion. And I haven't really had much of a call for it, really. So yeah, I will take that suggestion on board. Paul says, are you a season ticket holder at United? I am not. I applied for it. I've applied for it now for several years. The only time I did get offered one was when I was literally just moving into my house, so I couldn't afford it at that year. But no, I get to as many games as I can, constantly asking around for tickets. You'll see on Twitter, I'm always begging people saying they've got the tickets going for this game or whatever. So I get to as many as I can, but I'm not a season ticket holder. And to be fair, because I play on Sundays as well, a lot of Sunday games, obviously us being in Europa, I won't be able to attend anyway because I'll be playing myself. So it does make it a bit awkward if I did have a season ticket because I wouldn't be able to make most Sunday games anyway because of my own career. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. As usual, I really do appreciate it. I've just seen that comment there about De Gea getting a new contract soon. We shall see. It seems to be really dragging out now, and I've got a horrible feeling that this is going to be De Gea's last season at United and that he will go. A lot of people thinking Henderson is going to be taking over. Henderson, I think, is fantastic. He needs to be given more time playing for United, of course. But we shall see. We shall see. Codsvlog saying desperate to get to Manchester United as need the ground ticket office. I think they're saying tickets offered. If I can get any tickets for you, feel free. Obviously, you can come to a game. It'd be good to get you there, definitely, because I know you do a lot of vlogs from different grounds and you judge different atmospheres and stuff like that. The atmosphere at Old Trafford isn't the best, I'll say that, but you can come and judge it for yourself. But thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Neil, my new job is ahead of Year 10. I'm head of Year 10 at, obviously, a secondary school now, so yeah, a lot of work has been put into that. But of course, I'll stream as often as I can, and we'll talk about football as much as I possibly can. I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. Drop a comment in the video after, drop a like, and obviously subscribe if you haven't already, because your support truly does mean a lot. Have a lovely evening. Enjoy the England game. Hopefully there'll be plenty of goals. Back to the Premier League this weekend. Thank you so much for that. But take care, guys. Thank you so much, Marcus, as well, and Mr. E and Matthew for all modding in the chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, have a good evening. Take care. Cheers.